Past Professor of Entrepreneurship, Vangelis Souitaris, has just had a paper published in the Academy of Management journal. He's here to tell me all about it. So Vangelis, first you want to tell me a bit about organisational theory.
One of the major theories in organizations, in management, is called institutional theory. And it basically says that organizations copy each other. So people follow the industry trend, if you put it this way, or in another way, if your boss came out with a new idea, it's probably something that they heard over dinner and they are serving it to you as a new idea. So it's a very powerful theory, by the way, because our world is like this. People follow each other, and that's it.
So what's the issue with that theory and what were you looking at?
Right. The theory is powerful, as I said, but it has an issue. It cannot explain practice variation. Often, we all follow each other, but often you see practice variation among organizations, and especially among units that are in the middle of two worlds, meaning a new business unit coming out of a corporate, going into a new industry with different norms, therefore being in the middle, not knowing who to copy. And that is the context that we looked for. In particular, we looked at corporate venture capital funds, which are financial arms of large multinational corporations, say oil firms or computer firms, investing in entrepreneurs. So imagine a big oil company creating a financial arm going into the world of venture capital, which is a very different world. Who do they copy now? This was our problem with the theory. We tried to identify what happens.
So what did your study find?
Right. We found that we found a dichotomy of practice, meaning that some people copy the parent and some people copy the new industry that they're entering. And this was interesting because then the next obvious question is, why do they do that? What makes them do that? After investigation, we found out that this is because of two reasons. One is who do they prioritize in their lives, in their professional lives? Who do they want to look good to? Do they want to look good to their parents in order to get more funding for their fund, or do they want to look good to the venture capital industry in order to get more deals, because this is the source of deals? That's the one reason. So prioritizing legitimacy, as it's called in research terms. The next thing is, who do they hire? What's the professional background of the top management team? If they hire ex-VCs, then they will look like VCs. If they hire corporate professionals, then will most probably look like a corporate unit.
So what are the implications for the theory?
We introduced some new concepts, some new terms that will allow the theory to tackle this problem of variety. So the core concept of institutional theory is called isomorphism, which means I copy someone. Okay, so now we have this new concept of focus of isomorphism, which means I copy someone, but I can focus here or there, and that allows the theory to deal with this variation. And in particular, you can focus either internally, and this is called endo-isomorphism, to your parent, or externally to your new industry, and this is called exo-isomorphism. So our new concepts basically are tools for the theory to explain this particular phenomenon.
And what about the implications for the managers of these new units?
Say that you are a manager of a new subunit going to a new world. And this can be a corporate venture capital fund, as in our case, but it can be maybe an international subsidiary. Say McDonald's goes to China, and the Chinese part of McDonald's, who do they look like? Like a Chinese business or like McDonald's? It can be a franchising operation with a new unit. It can also be a business school, which is a unit of our university. Who do we want to look like? Like a normal university, the academic norms, or like a commercial organization, like the CAS or the business norms. So this conflict exists in many organizations. So say that you want to design that. How can you control the path that the organization will going to take? There are two routes to this. One is to regulate the pressure from the center to the unit. High pressure means a very corporate-looking unit. Lower pressure means the unit can take their own path and look like the industry. The second is hiring. Who do you recruit? A top management team that is recruited from the new industry, from the new world, will most likely create an organization that will look like the new world. If the hiring comes from inside the corporation or the central organization, then the union probably will look like them. And that is the core implication for a core idea for the managers.
Vangelis, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Miranda.